Time for another mini episode, player profile and projection. Jake, you always forget about the part where we project all of our problems and troubles and issues onto the player on the Yankees. That's what that's about, and that's what we're about to do. Thank you guys very much for joining and being part of this. So excited to have you. This one's about James Anthony Happ, better known as Jay, better known as Jay. Are you excited to talk about this guy?
JAH, he's my guy, Jim. I blindly defend him for no reason sometimes. I wonder why I do it. And I do know why I do it. Because there are when the crowd zigs too much, I'm gonna try to zag him back. And B, there are some things you can hide behind. Outside of just the juice ball last year. So we'll dive in, and I think I mean, the bigger thing is sometimes you have to ignore how much a dude is making, and you have to think of the circumstance. And Happ came to the Yankees a couple years ago, pitched really well down the stretch for us. We needed an arm, so we re-signed him. And if Jay Happ is your fifth starter coming into the season, there's much worse problems.
Oh, yeah. I mean, cancer exists. Kidnapping still happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of bad shit in the world.
Yes.
You kind of spun me already, dude, which was like I was going to, you Papa Docked me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was going to come in and say, we both fall into this role of defending Happ. You know, and you said, like, when everyone zigs, you want to zag a little bit. I just think that people took it to a place of malice, and that's where I'm like, all right, hold on. He had a bad year last year, but I still like his bald head and weird, very calm demeanor.
Absolutely.
And and when he was on in 2017, it was fun to watch. Just fucking high inside, high, low, high, you know, so whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know that his agent is the J Fee Sports Group and his J.A. Happ? Maybe that's why we went with them?
Yep.
You did know that?
Yeah.
I thought you would, actually.
So.
If there was anyone that would know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the James Happ story in 20.
What do you have with Jay Happ? Because I've got my normal good stuff prefaced with he was bad, but.
I have that. I think he's gonna be bad again.
Okay. And
I don't like saying that because I'm a dreamer. I'm an optimistic dreamer. But like, why, you know, besides the balls, like if the balls aren't juiced, I don't know, man. Like I said it was cool to watch him pitch in 2017.
Yeah.
But part of what made it cool was I didn't understand how it was effective.
Right.
So in my head, I'm trying to rack up ways where I can honestly be like, no, if he just does this and this and this, he's golden. When I don't know what the this and this and this is. So I'm struggling with that. I do think that the people that hate on him too much because I still think he can twirl 25 games to a 4.1 ERA in the fifth spot, and we're still a 104-win team, and Happ's not part of the playoffs, and who gives a fuck then?
Sure.
No qualms with that at all. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like our fifth starter doesn't need a 3 or sub 3.5 ERA.
Yeah, and that's where I think things get a little twisted for me.
Because you know what, Jake? Happ started 30 games last year to a 4.91 ERA. He was awful. The Yankees won 103 games, and Happ's not the reason they lost in the postseason. You can say the walk-off home run, but that was only happened because the Astros were cheating, and Reddick and Altuve walked versus Johnny Lasagna, so they had to take Lasagna out and put Happ in, and then, you know, eventually he gave up the home run. But I'm not blaming the postseason loss on Happ. So, like, and I think we can improve from that, and bam, now we may win 120 games. That fucking cat scares me every time.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you didn't even mention the postseason thing because I think a lot of Yankees fans forgot that he did that. But yeah, it was in a thankless role. Let me give any good I can possibly give on J Happ.
Ring it out. Ring it out.
Having I mean, he had a bad year last year. I think we're all open with that.
Thank you.
James, he started 30 games last year, like you mentioned. In 6 of those games, so 6 out of 30, what's that, 1/5? He gave up 5 or more runs. Not good.
Not good.
But I almost think you'd expect that number to be bigger. No?
I don't know. It's not good.
I mean, it's not good, but we've seen other pitchers in that realm. The J Happ's problem was there was never the really good. I mean, if you look back in last year and you look at starts that you're like, yes, like 6, 7 innings pitched, 0 or 1 earned runs. I mean, you're hunting. There's only like 4 of them. There's just this litany of 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 5.2 and 4. And it was really frustrating to be a part of because we almost kept waiting for J Happ to snap into it. And then it always felt like one thing went wrong. And I'm not going to excuse him on that.
Don't you dare.
I'll say this. The Yankees went 20-10 in J Happ starts last year.
And he was bad.
And he wasn't good. And I think when we say bad, it's not. I think we also have to consider what we're saying with bad. J Happ wasn't losing us games. Was he good? No. But was he losing us games? Also no, to be honest.
He lost us 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 games.
And exactly. Which, again, over the course of a season, knowing you're going to have a guy out there isn't the worst thing in the world. Not great. Now, let's go to the juice balls. We all know. The balls were juiced last year. We believe they're not going to be this year. J Happ is a soft-throwing, high fastball, fly ball pitcher. And when it's right, you're right. The entertainment value is awesome. He puts it where he wants. He's making hitters look dumb with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. And we saw signs of it at the end of last season. He finished with a strong month. And again, that doesn't absolve any sins. The fact that he had, 27.1 innings pitched to a 1.65 ERA. I mean, you could also use that against me that thank God he had that last month, or these stats look a lot worse. So I just think it wasn't a good year. I think if we went through and watched some game tape, I feel like there was a ton of these starts that were 5th inning, 1 earned run, and it's like, hey, J Happ, if you get one more out here, you're having a nice start. And that just never seemed to happen. And you can't put everything on a juice ball, but if anyone were to be affected by it, it was J Happ.
You know what you really opened my eyes to?
What's that, Jim?
That Happ didn't have, like, any good games.
Dude, and that's...
any above average games.
It's almost unbelievable.
He had I'll count him out how many I would consider, like, Happ walked away and was like, yes, that's what I do. I have...
So like what are we saying? 6 innings pitched or more with 1 or 0 runs?
I have 4. I have 4 options. 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs versus the Giants. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run versus the Blue Jays. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, only 3 hits versus the Angels. And 6.1, 0 earned runs. 5. There's another 6 with 0. So 5 starts that were 6 or 7 innings with 2 or less runs. That's out of 31. Like, usually it's, you get 10 awesome ones, 10 and 15 medium ones and 5 awful. He's missing a lot of the really good ones here.
Yeah, I mean it's almost ridiculous when you look at the pitching game log, which you and I do a lot. You see guys that fluctuate a lot more than this, and that's where this does get crazy. I mean, so what are my other butter knives here? So what, 24 out of his 30 starts he gave up less than 4 runs. Now, is that stat perfect? No, because J Happ hit a point where he was so not good for us, where if he gave up that many runs, we weren't going to give him even the 5th inning. So yes, that butter knife stat has some flaws to it. But J Happ's bad wasn't as bad as you thought it was. He just didn't have a good to counteract it.
I think his bad. I think his bad's as bad. I do think his bad's as bad as you thought it was. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starts, 5 or more, and he's got 4 starts, Jake, where he didn't see the 5th, and he gave up 6 or more runs.
6 or more runs. Are those 2 different stats? What was that? He lost me.
He didn't see the 5th and gave up 6 or more runs.
Is that or? Is that the same start?
Yes. Didn't see the 5th and gave up more than 6 runs.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the same starts there in the same body of work. And I mean, I just pulled up Domingo Germán to check it out. Domingo Germán had 4 starts of 5 or more runs in his 27 starts last year. But when he was good, he was really good. Like I really don't think J Happ's bad variance is as bad as we think it was. He just never had the good starts to counteract it.
Yeah, well, he just didn't go deep into games at all. Like, he did. The bullpen was needed when Happ took them out, so he didn't totally hurt. They still won 103 games. Well, Ottavino got taxed. How many games did Ottavino come in because Happ couldn't get out of the 5th?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could play that game a little bit. I mean,
there's ripple effects, Jake.
Yeah, it starts getting tricky. I mean, how many other pitchers can I point to on the Yankees that could have thrown more innings last year? I mean, J Happ had the 2nd most innings pitched on the Yankees last year, and we're really going to complain about that part of it. So, I don't know. He wasn't good. I think you can point to some factors, including the juice ball, something that was out of his hands. Well, technically it was in his hands, but it was out of his hands. And I don't know. Do I have huge expectations for him this year? Do I think he can be better? Absolutely. Do I think he could be worse? Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think he can lose a job?
Yes, but I mean not till All-Star break.
Oh, I was going to say August.
Yeah, I mean it's out there.
I do think it's a possibility, though.
But between injuries and other injuries and everything performance-wise that has to happen, I mean, I really don't see it happening. But hey, I mean, guys also get old too. J Happ isn't what you call a spring chicken in the biz, Jim. And I mean, we're coming off a year when we saw CC Sabathia clearly fall off the ledge a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's no need to be hyper bullish on Happ, but if J Happ could twirl a 32 start season to the tune of a 4.2 ERA, and I think there's a lot of people that don't believe in that, and you kind of should.
To a what ERA did you say? 4.2?
4.2, 4.20.
I'll give him that, and I'd be happy with it as if he stays in the 5th role.
Absolutely.
I think I'd like more innings per start. Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, and I think that A, ties into J Happ getting a shorter leash because he deserved that, and B, the Yankees were built around their bullpen, and they wore it out. And yes, you could also say J Happ was a factor in wearing it out to a degree. 2nd most innings pitched on the team. But yeah, I mean, I think you kind of you have to let J Happ eat it a little more. If he goes 5 innings pitch and he's at 3 or 4 earned runs, you kind of can't pull the plug. We saw the worn out bullpen. You got to give him a chance to go that 6th inning. And I think last year he lost that privilege, and deservedly so.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Very frustrating. I felt bad for him. He didn't seem to know what hit him sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you think he should try and grow his hair out?
No. I mean, definitely not. I love his look. One of my favorite looks on the team, to be honest. And yeah, rooting for the Happer, baby.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think Baseball Reference projects for him?
What do I think Baseball Reference projects for him? God, interesting. I'm not on the page right now, and I actually just accidentally clicked on that Domingo window, so I'm really lost. I'm going to expect 150 innings and a 4.75 ERA.
They've got 158 innings pitched and a 4.50 ERA.
Look at that. Would you take that?
If he stays the 5th starter.
Okay.
If there's 4 guys doing better than that.
Well, he's currently the 4th.
But that's short term in my brain. Paxton will be back for majority of the season.
I mean, we're talking July 1st or June 1st, excuse me.
You are. I'm talking May 5th.
You and Boris are, yep.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 4 or 5, there got to be 4 better starters than you if we want to do what we're doing.
Well, it's going to be a huge first 2 months for you and Happer.
I know. Just be good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's a part of it for sure.
I don't have much faith.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the whip wasn't too ugly. James Paxton had a 1.28 whip. Jay Happ had a 1.29 whip. I mean, the homer rate was too high, and I don't know. I guess that's the other thing that talks me into this. I mean, if you watched the playoffs last year, I told you at the start of it I needed more of a body of work, and then I saw that body of work, and I said, absolutely, the ball was different, and now we have all these reports on it. And I mean, honestly, you and I have dove pretty deep into the baseball world with our Talkin' Baseball stuff. Is there anyone off the top of your head that you say the juice ball would affect more than J Happ?
Phil Hughes, if he was still with us.
I mean, not in the league. Yep.
Well, may he rest in peace.
He's not dead. Love you,
He can
Phil.
still rest and be peaceful.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he does have a newborn, so he's probably not resting in peace that much.
So it's all busted.
Damn. No, Happ's a fly ball pitcher in Yankee Stadium.
Soft throwing fly ball pitcher at Yankee Stadium. So I don't know. Maybe he finds some of that magic he found late in the season. Maybe that felt like a big relief off his shoulders, because who knows what he was thinking by that point last year. And hey, maybe the first time he grabs a ball this year, he's like, thank God. And there is a chance of that. There is a chance he's not good again.
Yeah. You tell us what you think. A lot of people don't think he's going to be good.
Yeah, but the people you're referencing are the people that I normally reference, and you're like, I ignore their opinion. Because you knew that we needed to keep J Happ.
No, there's a lot of people that I enjoy their opinion, and they're very down on Happ.
Right. And there's a lot of people that have bad opinions and have been down on him, and those have been the trade happers and those people. And look, he's already up to our 4th starter in our rotation.
Yeah, and big congrats for him for making that jump before the season even starts.
Yeah, hey, you got to beat people out in spring training. But hey, I know just as much. You would be a lot less of a happy clam if our 4-5 right now was what, Monty Sessa?
Yeah. I'm happy to have Happ as one of the back end guys.
Yeah,
because he can give you 30 games, and the offense should be able to help him more than he can help them. So I'm there for it. I do think you lead the J Happ fan club, and I think, like you said in the opening, you don't even know why you lead it.
I mean, it's just baseball. Like, you just can't write some stuff off in baseball when the dude had clearly a bad year, one of his worst years. And yeah, he's old and maybe it's over, but also people bounce back in baseball, and we have things we could potentially point to if he does bounce back that it would make sense. So we'll see.
Okay. Thanks for listening. This was Talking Yanks.
Can I say one last thing?
Yeah, say it quick.
Dude, Happ, 30 games started, 161 innings pitched. Paxton, 29 games started, 150 innings pitched. How is that right?
Paxton got hurt.
Right, but it's one start difference, and Happ has 10 more innings.
He relieved a couple times.
Once. 2 innings of relief.
And there's 10 more innings?
Yep.
So Happ pitched 161.1 innings, right?
161.1.
And Paxton had the game in Texas where he started it and then didn't even throw anything, right? His butt gave out on him.
He threw 1 inning.
Yeah. And then he's got a Mets one where he threw 2.2.
And he got jacked up. I mean, Happ's got a bad start like that too.
I thought Happ had never done that bad. I think Happ always made 3 innings.
Happ, game log.
Yeah, 3.1's his worst. So Paxton's got 2 where he didn't even get out of the third. So that kind of offsets it, right?
Still, I think it's a lot of people would lose that bet.
11 innings. Yeah. And he got any, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know, Jake.
See?
Well, no, it makes sense because Paxton had some really bad outings.
I'm just saying the Paxton Happ hurting the bullpen. I think that I didn't like that.
I'm just saying there's ripple effects when our starters can't go deep.
Absolutely. You could say that for all of our starters.
Yeah, you can. Goodbye, guys. See you later.